Today's video is about measurement, and I've long wanted to put together a complete unit on measurement, but I haven't done it yet. So every year I kind of stumble through measurement. I bring in all my examples, and I have so many quarts and pints and all of those things, and metric too, but I wanted them to actually pour things and see how many pints actually goes into a quart. So this is the year that I've decided to do it. On week 1, we spent day 1 on the RU Square activity. I have a video on it if you haven't seen it, and you can get it for free on Teachers Pay Teachers. It's put out by the Ames Foundation. But I want to tell you a little trick that helped me a lot this year that made it go really smoothly. Before we started the measuring of our arm span and our height, I had them just practice measuring centimeters because they always struggle with that. So I had them create their own graphic organizer with the item, their estimate, and their guess. And we spent about 20 minutes just measuring things around the classroom in centimeters and meters. And then we moved right into the Ames activity, and it went really smoothly. They understood it very well. Then day 2, I separated them, random grouping, like Peter Liljedahl says, you have to do random groupings, and I put half of them inside my classroom with one of my moms doing measurement of weight with grams, and then I had my students outside doing measurement of liquid. So I bought at the dollar store these tubs, and I bought enough for everyone in the half class to have his or her own. I bought these liter measuring cups that have standard on one side and metric on the other. And I had a couple turkey basters from a previous experiment. I need to get some more of those somewhere because those were really fun for them to measure with. And I did have to buy graduated cylinders. I bought a dozen of these on Amazon, and they loved, this was their first experience with a graduated cylinder. And then I already had 10 ml and 20 ml syringes. So I started with the 10 ml, and we measured, we drew it up to 10, and then I said, I showed them the 10 ml on the graduated cylinder. Do you think it's the same? And they put the water in. They're like, it's the same. It's 10 milliliters here, and it's 10 milliliters there. I wonder what 20 milliliters would look like. And this is the conversation that I heard erupting. It was just so exciting. I heard Jake say, I came in at the mid of his conversation, and he said something like, oh, this is what I think. Well, I better check it out. I'm going to get to work and check this out. And Zion started using 2 of his 10 ml syringes and pushing them in at the same time. So he was doing 2 10 milliliters at the same time into his graduated cylinder, and he said, I think it's going to take 3 times my doing this to get all the way up to 100 milliliters. And Ophia Lewis said, I don't think so, because you've got 20 at a time and going to 100, I think that would be 5 times. Even simple conversation like, this is so much fun. Who knew, James said, who knew measuring water could be so much fun? And I did instruct them at the beginning that I wanted them to keep their water on the inside of the tub because I did not want to have to go refill their tubs. And they really did a good job. They weren't squirting each other. They were focused, zeroed in on measuring in metric. So then we started talking about, well, they actually asked the question, well, what does 1 ml look like? What does 1 milliliter look like? And it was kind of hard to get a sense of that just on a graduated cylinder or a syringe even, just one. They were trying. I said, it's not much, is it? So I thought, ooh, I should get some 1 milliliter syringes. I don't have those yet. So I bought a package of them on Amazon. They came looking very medical, of course. And I just opened one. I don't know what made me open one here at home, but thank heavens I did, because look what I just bought. Look, can you believe it? It's hypodermic. I bought, what did I buy? Now what do? Do I send them back? Do I, can you see the needle? Can you see there's a needle there? Can I break it off and use it? I don't know. This is causing me a bit of stress right now. I bought real live syringes. Can you imagine their excitement when I pull those out? Oh, help. out what was happening on the inside. I had one of my mom's, and I have 6 of these scales. I bought them on Amazon. They're really good. They do grams and ounces. And look, they come with a nice tray that you can use to hold things. And my mom in there is a nurse. So she taught us about zeroing out. Do you know about that? Where it takes the weight of this out of the equation so that you just actually get a measurement of what you are needing to measure, not the holder also. Doesn't that look like fun? I saw this picture and I said, oh my goodness, that looks like so much fun. And I said, wait, that's happening with my students. So that made me really happy. And then I got salt and baggies, and I had them make baggies of, what does 500 grams look like? What does, 100 grams look like? Here's another picture. They were just measuring things that we had in the classroom. But it just looked like so much fun. I had visioned in my mind that we would spend about 25 minutes each, and then we would switch. But I could see they needed a whole period to do what they were doing. So I ran in. I said, how are you doing? Are you ready to switch? And she said, no. I said, neither am I. Let's just keep at it. So then the next day we switched. And then this new week, I'm going to do the same thing with weight and then with liquid, but with the customary units. And I'm really looking forward to that. Unfortunately, my standard, quarts and pints are not see-through. They're like orange juice and soy milk things, so you can't see them. So I think that's going to pose a bit of a challenge, but I have no doubt that it will be as engaging and meaningful for the students. This is something that is really fun to do at the end of the year, I think, because it gets you outside, it gets you on the grass doing math. Oh, and can you believe it? A prospective kindergarten family came patrolling down on a tour of our school while we were out there, and they looked very intrigued by what we were doing. And I said, I'll see you in 5 years. And they thought that. They smiled and laughed, and what else are they going to say? But it was a good moment. You don't want them to walk in on you when they're doing a prospective visit and you're sitting at their desk. They're sitting at their desk doing a worksheet, right? You want the students to be doing something engaged when people come to visit, for sure. So that's what we've been doing for measurement. If you have any wonderful measurement ideas, please let me know. I'm going to need to hit Fahrenheit and Celsius. So I might have to I know I have some thermometers. I'm going to have to dig in my cupboards and see what all I have for thermometers. But I hope that you saw something that you can use. Even if you don't split your group in half, maybe you can just take a small group of 5 students and work with them so that they can learn how to measure up. Thanks for stopping to be with me today, and I look forward to our being together again very soon.